Hello, FlossTube. This is Tina Fraser coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Tuesday, May 25th at approximately 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm coming to you today with a FlossTube update. If you're new to my channel, this is my channel where I talk about crafts that I love, hobbies that I have, and a little bit of life thrown in there as well. Most of my channel involves cross stitch and diamond painting, but I also do other crafts. A little bit of a nerd at heart, so I may actually talk about nerdy stuff, geeky stuff, and whatnot. And I also like to ghost hunt, so you may hear some discussion about that on occasion. And I just generally talk about stuff that I'm interested in. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find something here on my channel that will enable you or inspire you to get out there and be crafty and just have fun and enjoy your life. And hopefully you'll consider subscribing. If you're a returning watcher, thank you very much for coming back. I'm really glad you're here, and thank you for stopping by again to visit with me today. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate all the support, and welcome back. It's good to see old friends. So if you're a new watcher or a current non-subscriber, I encourage you to consider clicking the subscription button below and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. I try and record videos on various things once a week, once every other week or so. It just really depends on what I have going on and everything like that. So if you click the notification bell, you'll be notified when I actually do upload new content. I try to be a little regular about it, but you know, there's sometimes life gets in the way, and you know, it's just how things go. So anyway, welcome to my channel, and hope you enjoy your visit. So I have a little bit of life update for you and some stitching updates, because I actually do have some stitching progress to share with you, and some haul, and a couple other things that I think I kind of want to talk about today. So we'll kind of get right into it. This is going to be about cross stitch mainly, pretty much. And so anyway, sit back, grab something to drink, grab your stitching if you want to do that. While I talk, grab your diamond painting, grab whatever craft you like to do, knitting, crochet, whatever, and sit back and relax, and we'll get started. So I think I am going to start off with some haul. All right, bear with me just a minute. Okay. So first off, I'm gonna kind of talk to you today. I'm filming in my basement, by the way. This is my home office. This is where I spend most of my days working from home. So before I get into haul, a little life update. We've been working from home pretty much 100% at work since March 17th of last year, the day before my 49th birthday. Work was going to have us kind of work 1 week on, 1 week off type of thing for a while. And so the first group of people started Monday, March 17th last year, coming into the office. There was going to be half of us in the office and half of us out of the office. And I was one of the people that was going to be in the office for the first week, that we were going to do the 1 week in, 1 week out. And we came in Monday morning, and about 10 o'clock in the afternoon, they kind of pulled us all into a meeting, and they said, well, because of the spread and everything, they're sending everybody home. So when you get ready to leave for the day, if you want to pack up your stuff and head on out and, you know, work from home the rest of the day, you can, or you can just finish out your day, take your stuff home, and you'll be working from home from now on. So that's how it started. We have an update. There has been a plan released since my last video that they're starting to bring people back into our office. We have an office of a couple of thousand people here. The office building that I work at, we have a couple of thousand people. And there's a bigger office that has probably 20,000 people working at it for our company. They've been at a limited staff as well. But anyway, in my building, they're bringing back people up to about 50% capacity. They opened it up to people that wanted to start back to work this month. So 2 weeks ago or so is when they started inviting people back into the office to work. Mask mandates, social distancing mandates. They have, nobody has assigned desks anymore. So all our personal effects that we happened to leave behind last March have been boxed up for us. So we get to pick that up on our first day back to the office. And they've asked us not to bring personal stuff back into the office, so that way they can clean and sanitize the desks every night. They're still working under the stricter CDC guidelines for cleaning and everything like that. They have eased the mask restriction at work, so if you're fully vaccinated, you do not have to mask up at work. It's your choice, and everything like that. But anyway, so they started bringing people back in to the office about 2 weeks ago. I did not offer to go back in. I kind of like a little bit of the freedom of working from home, and it hasn't really dropped my production much. And I also tend to work a little bit later and a little bit longer, so I put in a few more hours because I can just sit here and continue to work instead of having to log off, driving to go pick up my husband, driving us both home, and then logging back in. I simply just log away from my computer and then, sign back in when I get ready to work again. So it's been really nice working from home. So anyway, our department, we're kind of office support, more or less. What our functions do, and we don't have any customer impact or customer facing ability, or we don't have to work with people face to face in our job functions. So it's really easy for us to not have to be in the office. So our management has decided that they're going to bring us back in a couple people at a time for 1 week in and then 3 weeks out, 1 week in, 3 weeks out, at least for June and July. So my first week back isn't until June. When is my first week back? My first week back starts, I thought I had it written down in here. Oh, it's not until July. So I don't go back into the office until Monday, July 19th. That is my week back in the office for the first time. Tentatively right now, they're going to stick with that plan. So there's going to be 3 of us in my department that are going back into the office on July 19th, and then not again until August. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what the office atmosphere is going to be like going back to work. I am optimistic, because it'd be kind of nice to see some other people and some people I haven't seen for a while. But part of the reason why they want to do this is because the head of the company, big company, international company, believes that people are more productive when they can collaborate and work together. The problem is that we're all still social distancing, and we can't sit in our normal little pods at our normal little desks side by side with each other and still talk and congregate, because they have now blocked off every couple of desks. So it's going to be a case where you show up in the morning and somebody might direct you to an area of the building that has open seating, that has open desks, and you just find a desk that has a green dot and you sit down and you sign in. It's not going to be necessarily the same desk you had the day before, and it's probably not going to be the same desk you had the last time you were in the office. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff they have to work through to bring us all in, because there's a couple of thousand people that work in my building. So, The week that I go in, there's 3 of us in my department that are going to be in the office out of about 12. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting because none of the other 2 people do the same job function I do on my team. So it's not like we're really going to be able to collaborate anyway because we don't do the same job functions. So I can't just go over to them and say, hey, I have a question, or can you take a look at this with me? I really like a second set of eyes. I can't do that because they don't do the same functions that I do. So a little kind of, like, well, why are we going back then if, that's the way they're going to do it? But I guess they're trying to make it a little more normalized, a little more normal life for everybody. So we'll see kind of how it goes. But tentatively, I go back a week in July and then again in August. So, yeah, that'll be kind of interesting. So I have about another probably 6 weeks or so of full work from home before I have to do that. So that'll be interesting, and that could affect my recording times and days and everything like that, my stitching time, because I don't know what being back in the office is going to be like. We haven't been in the office since March 17th of 2020, so that'll be kind of interesting. Anyway, so I don't know if I showed this, I don't remember if I showed this on my last video or not, but this is something that I got in haul. I honestly can't remember now where I picked this up at, but this is a pattern that I got. It's called FlossTube Friends. You've probably seen this on many other channels, and I don't really know what the inspiration was for this. I think it was the Steel City Stitchers. They were a couple of them were stitching this, and they had talked about naming some of the people, and they're doing kind of a round robin, I think, where they each stitch a person and send it on to somebody else in their group. So I've seen this on a couple of different channels, and a couple of people have finished it and showed it in their finishes. So I just kind of picked this up. I thought that was really cool, really fun, really cute. I'd been wanting this for a little while, so I picked this up probably about a month ago. So I don't remember if I showed that on my last video or not. Another design I came up with, I am in the Kitty and Me Designs colorful sale. I've been following along with the colorful cat sale, the colorful sale for the Kitty and Me Designs. Those are those multicolored cats and bunnies and all kinds of animals that Kitty and Me Designs has put out by Pamela Kellogg. And so I think it was last week or the week before last. I think it was last week. Somebody had advertised on the Kitty and Me Designs stitching group that 123 Stitch had an exclusive Kitty and Me Designs colorful cat, and it was really cute. The cat is called Rosebud, and it's in pinks, greens, and browns. And I picked it up. This chart is exclusive, as you can see up here. It's exclusive to 123 Stitch. So the only place that you can get this colorful cats pattern is to go to 123 Stitch. And it is called Rosebud. I believe the pattern is roughly $9.99. So this calls for all DMC. There's one Krynic color in it, Krynic 032, which is kind of a pearl white. So this is in pinks, greens, and browns. And this is called Rosebud. So I picked that up from 123 Stitch because I have about 4 or 5 of the Kitty and Me patterns. If you recall, back in April, I started the Lavender and Orchid Colorful Bunny by Pam Kellogg, Kitty and Me Designs. So this is added to my stash. Okay. That's just a card I got from my best friend from high school. One of the other things that came in the mail this last week was the 2022 Keepsakes cross-stitch calendar. I've been getting this for the last couple of years. I've been really enjoying the pictures in this, and thumbing through the months, There's a couple of them that I'm probably going to end up stitching at some point in this, so that's going to be kind of fun. So here are the different pieces in here. So this is a publication that's put out by Craftways Corp, I believe is the Craftways Corporation. Yep. And it's the Keepsake calendar. They put this out every year. They've been doing this for quite a while. The nice thing about this, about the newer calendars now, is that they have just the calendar that shows you the different pieces. Like this is for July of 2020. So they'll show the different pieces, and then the patterns come in their own little booklet. So you get this booklet of patterns to go along with it. In the calendar, a couple of the ones that I really liked. This is for January or December of this year. This is a gingerbread house. I thought that was really cute. I don't necessarily know that I would stitch that, but it is really cute, and I thought that may be a stitch. This is one of the ones I'm probably going to end up stitching. This is for January 2020. Look at those guys. Look at those animals, the owl and the rabbit. Oh, they're so cute, and the snowshoes and everything like that. Yeah. February is a black work heart. I'm not much into black work, so doubtful that I'll stitch that. March is really cute. I am probably going to end up stitching this at some point. Really, really cute. It's called Song of the Cherry Blossoms. April has some really cute birds. May 2022 is called Lavender Fields. This would make an actual, probably a really gorgeous diamond painting, I think. There's no back stitching and there's no partial stitches in this. It's all solid full cross. That would make a really pretty diamond painting, I think. Then this one is How Does Your Garden Grow? This one's not really my aesthetic, so I probably wouldn't stitch it. July, you've seen July. It's the Sailing Through sailboat. August is really cute. It's called Harvest Haul, and it's a truck, like an old-fashioned truck with some pumpkins and fall type things, and a kitty cat in the back of it. That's really cute. I'd probably never stitch this one either, but it's still really cute. September's is called Fairy Tale Fast Forward, and you'll probably recognize the fairy tale. It's the Frog Prince. You can see she meets up with the frog. She kisses the frog, and he turns into the Frog Prince. So you get the trio of them. October is really cool. I'll probably end up stitching a couple of them, if not all of the ones that are shown for October. Look at the cat on the pumpkin. Look at the wolf and the moon. Look at the owl on the pumpkin. And the haunted house scene too is really kind of cute. I'm probably gonna stitch a couple of those as well. So I really like that. November's is really kind of different. It's called Autumn Woodland, and it's pretty much all color blocking. But this is probably one that I will end up doing. It's really pretty. And this would also make a really gorgeous diamond painting as well. Yeah, because you actually stitch the white trees. You stitch the white trees on that. And then December is a buck and a doe in a wreath. Now, I probably wouldn't stitch these. My mom might actually want to stitch them. So, like my little paper clip and my glasses, they're holding my glasses together because, well, the screw fell out of my glasses like a month and a half ago, and I just haven't gotten them fixed. So you'll see the paper clip holding my glasses together. But anyway, that is the Keepsake 2022 calendar for you. And you get this nice little booklet that actually has the patterns in them. And it talks about the designers and everything like that. It gives you the schematics for everything. So, yeah. Keepsake 2022 calendar.
Hi, Internet world.
Hi, that was my husband. He says hi. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Sorry while I get organized. Get a little more organized here. All right. Okay, so some of you may follow a person by the name of Moes Sale, MO'SSALE, Moes Sale on Facebook. Mo is a dyer. She dyes fabric and flosses and silks and everything. But she dyes fabric and flosses and puts them up for sale on her Facebook page. Moes Sale. Sometime earlier, it might have been in April. I'm not 100% sure when she did this. Bear with me just a minute. I apologize for that. I had to go take a look at something. So on the Moes Sale website, it's Moes, MOS-SALE.com, moessale.com. They put up they created a pattern called the Happy Cow. Sorry about that. There we go. They created a pattern called the Happy Cow. 100% of the proceeds for the sale of this pattern go to benefit second wave COVID relief in India. So this pattern was inspired by Indian pattern, and they had advertised it on the Moes Sale Facebook group that they were doing this. So I went ahead and I purchased it. They're asking $12 for the chart, and the chart is huge, you guys. The actual chart itself has like 38,000 stitches in it. It's a huge chart. It's like 6 pages or something. It's really big. Anyway, they have the pattern is 350 wide by 287 high. So on 18 count fabric, the size is going to be 18 inches by 15 inches. So it's 18 inches wide by 15 inches tall. It's pretty sizable project. Stitched over one on 18 count Ada. So Mo was also advertising, was also going to have a floss sale 2 weekends ago when I decided to go out and purchase the pattern. And so I was looking through the hanks that were for sale on the Facebook group, and I found one that I thought would actually look really, really nice, stitched on a light or white fabric for the Happy Cow. So I purchased a 100-yard hank of the cotton floss. And this is Dingle, you guys. So this is Moes Sale. This is a 100-yard cotton hank. I think the cotton hanks are like $13 or $14 for 100 yards. But this is in pinks and really bright salmons and pink. The colors are washed out on my camera. The colors are really washed out. But they're brighter than what's showing. And I think this would go really good for the happy cow. I just think that would be a really pretty colorway. So when I get ready to work on the happy cow, I'm probably going to use one strand and work it over one. I think I'm going to try and find a 40 count fabric to stitch this on, so it won't be quite so big and it'll actually be manageable. And stitching over one, I can kind of get it finished really quick. So I got this hank of Moes Sale in the colorway Dingle. And I also, that same sale, I also picked up a variegated green called Cat Island. Cat Island. Again, this is a 100 yard cotton hank of Moes Sale hand-dyed floss. Again, you're not going to be able to see the colors in this, but it's a really bright green into a really bright light green. It's really pretty. So I got some green. So I have a little more Moes Sale floss to add to my stash, and I'm really excited about using those. So, and then yesterday I got my Crazy Annie's Stitchin' fabric of the month. Does it say which one it is? This one is the March fabric of the month. This is Color and Cotton Macaroon. I got 36 count Edinburgh linen. 36 count Edinburgh linen in macaroon. And it's kind of a tannish yellow color. The lights in here always wash everything out. So unfortunately, you're not going to really be able to see the color. It's kind of sort of that color, but it's kind of more of a yellow brown, yellow tannish yellow. But yeah, so I have a nice big piece of it. You can see there's modeling in it. There's the back side. So yeah, I don't know just yet. This is Color and Cotton fabric in macaroon. Color and Cotton fabric in macaroon. So yeah, I'm adding to my fabric stash. I don't have a lot of Color and Cotton. Most of what I have are Picture This Plus from the original Crazy Annie Stitchin' Fabric of the Month Club that I was getting last year. So this is cool, and this is 36 count. So I'm wanting to get into stitching on some of the older fabrics. So if you want to get in on the Crazy Annie Fabrics of the Month Club, she is a little behind because of supply issues and everything like that, getting a lot of her linen fabrics and dyes and whatnot for, you know, obvious COVID reasons. But anyway, you can go to Crazy Annie Stitchers. The Facebook group is Crazy Annie's Crazy Stitchers. So here's the information for how to join the groups. So I got some new fabric. All right. So that about does it for haul. Really quick update. So, those of you that have watched my channel in the last couple of years know that there's several retreats going on this year. StitchCon is going on, I believe, in June. There's 2 weekends in June that you can pick to go to StitchCon. Or maybe it's not June. I don't know, it's probably not in June. It's normally in June. Maybe it is in June. I don't know. But anyway, StitchCon is happening this year. But they have 2 weekends. You can only pick one weekend to go. I did get an invoice about 2 months ago. But due to some of the other scheduling conflicts and whatnot, I once again had to decline the offer to pay my entry fee to go to StitchCon. So I will not be going to StitchCon again this year. I would like to sometime soon, but just scheduling and everything like that just wouldn't permit me to go this year. So, those of you that have watched me in the last couple of years know that my local needle workshop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart Limited, puts on a retreat every year in Amish country, kind of about an hour, hour and a half northeast of Columbus in Amish country. And they've been doing it for over 20 years. Well, the lady that worked in the shop that used to organize Camp GottaStitch sadly passed away in January. Emily Van of EJV Designs. She had been sick for a little while and passed away in January. So she was a big force behind putting Camp GottaStitch together for Cross My Heart. And so along with COVID restrictions and everything like that, they had to cancel last year's Camp GottaStitch retreat in November. Just because of COVID and hotel restrictions and whatnot. They couldn't figure out how to get 90 people fed and maintain social distancing and everything like that. So they just went ahead and didn't have Camp GottaStitch last year. The theme for Camp GottaStitch last year was going to be the Roaring 20s. So I've been talking on and off with Jenny and Carol, the owners of Cross My Heart. Every time I go in there, I kind of ask a little bit about what their plans are. And of course, since Emily passed, quite a few things have changed for them. And they were going to try and figure out how to put together a scaled down version of Camp GottaStitch this year. And we got our letter. My mom and I got our letter in the mail yesterday for camp. So it is the Roaring 20s limited edition. So they are kind of carrying over the original theme for last year as Roaring 20s. They're offering it for 2 weekends, 1 weekend in September and 1 weekend at the end of October. You'll have to excuse my cat. She's scratching the litter box. And they're going to invite, they're going to allow 30 people at each weekend. So they're only going to allow 60 people into the retreat this year. So when you register, you're going to have to register for the weekend that you want. Mom and I have been discussing it since last night, and we're going to go, hopefully, the weekend that we chose. We chose the weekend in October 30th through 31st. So Mom and I are going to the limited edition Camp GottaStitch, October 31st, hopefully. We have to go take our registration form in to wow. Okay, I just happened to look a little bit more. Okay then. Well then. Okay, well, I just looked at the hotel. Sorry about that, you guys. So, it's normally up in Amish country. I just happened to read some of the information. I was just mainly looking at the cost and everything. So, yeah, it is not in Amish country this year, you guys. It is here in town in Columbus. It's in Westerville, actually, at the Aloft Hotel here in Westerville. And there's 2 weekends available. They're doing a scaled down version, and it's close to town. So, that being said, yeah, that might change things. All right. So, anyway, yeah, that'll be fun. So, it's really close by. It's like less than 5 miles from my house, actually, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to kind of miss it being in Amish country, but hopefully my mom and I are going to be going Saturday night and staying in the hotel. Yeah, so that'll be really cool. We'll be able to kind of hang out with some stitchers and whatnot. So we got our sign up form for it for Roaring 20s limited edition. So it is here in town this year, which will be different. It's usually up in Amish country. So yeah, that'll be different. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll have more information as we figure it out. But we were actually talking because I didn't read that it was here in Westerville. I thought it was still up in the Amish country. And so I was planning on, Mom and I taking Friday and going up Friday night and being up there Friday night, Saturday, and staying Sunday and coming home on Monday because, Amish country is kind of fun and, it's different. But it's less than 5 miles from our house. So we may not be staying Friday and Sunday night. So anyway, that'll change. Anyway, so we have a little discussion to do and I'll have a little more information about what we decide. So if you're interested, you can contact Cross My Heart Limited here in town. I will put their contact information below for you. They are going to have limited space available. They're only allowing 30 people per weekend. So keep in mind that registration is currently only open for the people that pre-registered for last year's camp that didn't get to go. So there is a chance that they may not open it to the people that haven't already pre-registered for or registered for last year's camp, just because of the attendance limitation that they have. So anyway, we got information on Camp GottaStitch. So again, I will, if you want more information on Camp GottaStitch for the 2 weekends, September 18th and 19th and October 30th and 31st, you can contact Cross My Heart at the contact numbers and email below to find out more information about how to get maybe get on the mailing list for camp. I know typically camp runs Friday through Sunday up in Amish country, and it's a blast, and people usually stay until Monday because it's a nice relaxing weekend. For Camp GottaStitch, they typically don't have classes. It's literally you come and stitch and visit and talk and stitch and talk and eat and visit and stitch and stitch and stitch and drink and stitch and laugh and talk, and yeah, it's just a lot of visiting. So it'll be fun. Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher, she has come to camp the last couple of years, and she really likes the atmosphere here. She gets a lot of stitching done, and she just really likes it. So Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher, may be there one of the weekends. So anyway, it's a nice little kind of low-key retreat to come to, and I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, that is that. That is all I have for you for haul and updates. So now we're going to get into some stitchy updates, like WIP updates and whatnot. So this year I have been participating. Well, let me get into this month. So as you know, this month is the month of May. And there is a Facebook group out there that got started about 5 or 6 years ago called Stitch Mania. And the goal of Stitch Mania was, in 2015, was to start 15 new projects for the first 15 days of the month of May. They called it Mania, Maynia, because they were going to start 15 new projects for the first 15 days of May 2015. And then in 2016, it was 16 new projects for the first 16 days. You get the idea. So Mania has since blown up and becomes really popular all over the stitching community. And people have changed it to be Monogamous Mania, No New Starts Mania, Stitch on One Project Mania, Stitch Everything Mania, where they stitch a new project each day of the month for the entire month of May, so 31 new starts. Some people touch all their WIPs, each day a different WIP. Everybody does it different. This year, I decided that I was going to do WIP Mania and focus on a couple of older pieces of mine that were started more than 10 years ago that I haven't touched in a little while. So there are 2 projects that I have worked on this month, and I think I'm done with my Mania because I managed to put in probably at least over 1,000 stitches in both of them. The first one I put in almost 1,900 stitches, which is fine with me. I just haven't given these projects enough love in the last couple of years, so I kind of wanted to work on them and get some progress made on them. So the first one that I have for you, I don't have the maybe let me see if I have it. Do. Okay, so the first piece that I have for you is a piece by Teresa Wensler called Fantasy Triptych. And you've probably seen, if you've been around stitching for a while, you've probably seen this. This was an old piece that I had started, back in the 90s. Probably not long after it came out. I bought the leaflet for it and bought the fabric and everything, and I had started it. And this is a blurry pattern, but the maiden panel where she's riding the horse, I had most of the background on that panel stitched, and I went to Marcon, which is a science fiction convention here in Columbus, and I took it with me that weekend because I really wanted to work on it, and I worked on the border. But as I was working on the border, I came to realize that on the original piece of fabric, I had less than a 1/2 inch border around all 4 sides for framing. Less than 1/2 inch. And I had all that work done. If you know Teresa Wensler is known for her blended threads. Lots of blended threads in this. Lots. So I took a picture. You see this? That is my ring of just the blended threads for the Teresa Wensler pattern. Lots of blends, lots of blends. Just the blends on the Teresa Wensler pattern. Yeah. So, I wanted to work on it. Wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to get, but here is my starting point on Teresa Wensler's Fantasy Triptych. This was on May 1st. This area down here is the castle, the corner of the castle, the lower corner of the castle, and then this corner here is the corner for the night panel. So essentially, I didn't want to do that. I'm sorry. So if you're looking here, essentially it's like this area down here and this corner right here is where I had redone. So when I had realized that I only had 1/2 inch, I was heart sunk. I wanted to throw it out. I was so upset. Went back to my local needle workshop and kind of showed them. They understood how upset I was, and they made me a deal. You know, again, this was probably 15, 20 years ago. They made me a deal. They cut me a new piece of fabric. Gave me a discount on it because they knew. I didn't know if it was my error in cutting the original piece of fabric or if it was their error. So they made me a deal. You know, they gave me a discount on a new piece of fabric. So I picked up, I think it's antique lace or antique white linen. I believe it's 28 count linen. But again, it's like I got it like 15-20 years ago. So I don't know exactly what kind of fabric it is. But anyway, so I restarted it, and that's where I got to the last time I picked up the piece. And honest to God, it's probably been 5 years or more since I've touched it. It's been a while. So I wanted to show you where I got to, because I put almost 1900 stitches into Fantasy Triptych. So you remember I was in the corner. I had gotten some of the green done. So as you can see, I have the entire gold border done around all 3 panels. So yeah, I actually made a lot of progress. And then I put this away. So the last time I worked on this was May 13th. I had put in 1,882 stitches on it and decided that I was done for it for now. Done with it for now. I don't know when the next time I'm going to pick this back up is, but I at least got the gold border done. So I now know how big it is, and I kind of can go from there and work on it. So the next piece that I worked on was MLI's Santa of the Forest. So let me pull up where I was on that for you. Hopefully I have it on here. Beep beep. Beep 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 beep. No. Okay, the Santa of the Forest is not on here. Let me see if I have it on my tablet. Bear with me just a minute. Oh, come on. There we go. Santa of the Forest. Oh, come on. I don't have it in here either. All right. 10th. There we go. All right. So this is where I was at with Santa of the Forest when I first got started. And you can see the picture, the stock photo down here in the corner. So that's where I was with Santa of the Forest. And you can see I had finished most of the stitching in the lower quadrant. I still had a little bit of red to do up here next to the bear head. And I had started working on the beard. I just put it down for the first time yesterday because I decided that I finally wanted to get over to my WIPGO squares for the month. Since I only have about a week left in the month, I wanted to get to my WIPGO squares. So I put it away yesterday, and I will show you my progress here. I did a lot. I did probably 1,500 stitches on this. So as you can see, I got a lot more of the beard done. All this empty space in here is filled in with DMC white. I got some of the red coming up here. I filled in the red next to the bear's head. And I got some of the red around here. The reason why I wanted to do some of the red is so I can make the white easy to fill in. And I knew on the edges where the white would go. So all these empty spaces in here are white. I also did his lip You can see his lip right here. I also did his lip over one. I like to do all my skin over one because I think over one skin looks better. But yeah, so I made a lot of progress on him, actually. Over 1,500 stitches, I believe. So I'm actually really happy with the progress. I was initially hoping to get all of his beard done, but feeling a little burnt out right now, and I decided that I would like to move on to my WIPGO. So anyway, there you have it. So there is my WIP Mania progress on Teresa Wensler's Fantasy Triptych and MLI's Santa the Forest. MLI is Marilyn Leavitt Emblem. Those of you that know Mirabilia, Nora Corbett, MLI is Nora Corbett's mom. MLI has Marilyn Leavitt Emblem, has since passed away. She passed away a few years back. But Nora Corbett owes a lot of her design influence to her mother, MLI, Marilyn Leavitt Emblem. Marilyn is the owner of Lavender and Lace, Butternut Rolled, Told in the Garden. You know, like all those Amish patterns and stuff that people stitch. Some of the older ladies, some of the older pretty ladies that people stitch. Those are Marilyn Leavitt emblems, Nora Corbett's mom. So yeah, let me actually show you this kind of side by side so you can kind of see. I kind of want to see how this works. So yeah, you can see, whoops, maybe not. Whoops, come on. So yeah, you can see, whoops. Do it this way. Nope, you're not going to be able to do that. Oh well, I tried. Anyway, so I did get quite a bit of progress done on that. And so yesterday, it's just thumbtack. So yesterday I pulled out my first WIPGO square. So I was going to show you my WIPGO board as it stands currently. So for the month of May, we have square 19 for me is work on a piece, newer WIP with fancy floss or silks, and spinning decision wheel. So I think in the last video or two, I spun the decision wheel, and the piece that came up was Floral Totoro for me. So my square 22 is Floral Totoro. I had to do 500 stitches or 1,000 tent stitches on either the Floral Totoro or a piece with fancy flosses or silks. This is where my bingo board is now. You'll see here, down here, square number 21 is still not filled in. That was complete a started Mill Hill kit or 500 stitches on a new kit. I was working on the Mill Hill Enchanted Pumpkin. I still haven't finished the stitching on that. So that's going to be another kit that I kind of take with me every so often. But anyway, so I have one square left in April, and until yesterday I hadn't started on any of my May WIPGO squares. So yesterday I pulled out Floral Totoro and I started on it. This came from a shop on Etsy called CRSmyhrtlt. I looked yesterday for the pattern. This pattern is no longer in their Etsy shop, but they have other floral patterns in the same style and colorway for different things like Mickey Mouse and whatnot. But this is My Neighbor Totoro. It's a Studio Ghibli character. If you're familiar with Japanese animation, you probably know My Neighbor Totoro and all the other Studio Ghibli. I'm wearing a Princess Mononoke trainer crossover tea turtle shirt with Bulbasaur from Pokemon. This is Princess Mononoke. She is a Studio Ghibli character from Princess Mononoke. But anyway, so haven't done very many stitches on this. I've only done 135 stitches on this. but this is Totoro, floral Totoro under an umbrella. So his eyes are going to be here and here. His mouth is here. This is one of his ears. His other ear is over here. And it's all floral pattern. I was working on this rose here. So, and this is just my neighbor Totoro pin that I had converted to a needle minder. He is under a leaf umbrella. So, yep, if you know the story of my neighbor Totoro, you know the inspiration for this. But that is floral Totoro. I'm about 135 stitches in so far. And that would be all my stitching updates since the last video. So that is all my WIP updates. I've gone over haul, I've gone over WIP updates. Let me do a little bit of plans. So for the rest of the month, I'm pretty much just going to stitch on Totoro and figure out what other project I want to do for the other WIP books for Fancy Flosses or Silk. I thought about possibly using Cool Yule hands-on design because it uses sulky threads, and I have the sulky threads and the fabric to do it, and it'll be really quick, and I could probably finish it in a month. I don't know. I may do that. So a couple of things that I kind of wanted to go over. So 24 hours of cross stitch for May. The acrostic was needle minders. You can see I've checked off a couple of them. So for the M, I was doing Medieval Fantasy Triptych, 1,000 stitches. I actually completed that one because I did almost 1,900. The one at the bottom was Santa the Forest. I wanted to do 1,000 stitches, and I actually completed that on May 23rd. I had 1,425 stitches in on her on Sunday. So, on the Santa the Forest. So, a couple of the other ones I filled in. I was going to work on Needlewoman Murder Mystery. That is a old Curtis Behringer 13-part murder mystery series that came out many years ago with lots of errors and everything in it. But I've decided that my oldest WIP Mania is done for the month, so I'm not going to get to that. And then I had Enchanted Reindeer and Enchanted Pumpkin. I'm probably not going to get to those this month. So that's pretty much all I have for the 24 hours of cross stitch. Not doing that. The May Stitchy mission for creatively crafting from the free cross stitch challenge group on Facebook. This May Stitchy mission. The stitch mission is 7,500 stitches to spell out Mania. I haven't updated this. I think I have 1 or 2 more X's done, but I've done quite a bit, all things considered. The goal is to have all of these X's filled in for every 100 stitches you do. The total is 7,200 stitches. I don't think I'm quite halfway there, but anyway, that's where I'm at with that. I got a couple of boards on their WIPGO and StitchGo where you put in, it's like a abbreviated version of WIPGO for the month, and you put in some of your projects, and whenever you stitch a session on that project or whatnot, you can fill in the squares. And then they have different topics to stitch on for the month. I've almost got this row done in the middle. Stitch 500 stitches in a sitting, 400 stitches, 300 stitches, 200 stitches, 100 stitches, everything like that. The only one I haven't done is the stitch 500 stitches in a sitting, rather. Stitch in golds, stitch in yellows, greens, blues, purples is some of the ones at the top. And the other one is posting pictures and stuff to the Facebook group for it. So there's that. The magazine monthly challenge this month, the theme was May Flowers. I still hadn't picked a magazine piece. It was probably going to be Amid Amish Life. because it's probably going to carry over, but I just didn't pick anything up. The only thing I was able to fill in the acrostic for May was Daisy. For the letter S, I used Santa of the Forest. And I put a goal, 500 stitches. Well, I've done 1,400 stitches in it, so that was easily obtainable. And that is pretty much everything for Stitchy this month. So for the month of June, WIPGO is picked on the 27th. Oh look, we're almost in an hour. We're just over an hour. WIPGO is drawn on the 27th. Jessie Marie Does Stuff will pick the new numbers on the 27th. So looking forward to that. That's in 2 days. So I'll be looking forward to that. I don't have the magazine monthly acrostic or anything yet, so you'll be hearing about that on the new video. And there's a couple of things going on that I kind of wanted to bring up. So everybody knows that June is Pride. I've heard a lot of stuff going on. There's different things going on for the month of Pride. For June, the month of Pride. So there is a thing called the Trans Pride Tapestry Sale. Let's see. Let's see. That's not it. Nope. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to edit that out, or maybe I'll just leave it in. I'm sorry, but I'll have to look up some more information for you for my next video on the different Pride Month stitch-alongs that are happening. But there is one called the Trans-tastic Sale. It's a Trans Pride Tapestry Sale. Two FlossTubers that I know of for sure that are doing it are Michelle Bendy Stitchy and Mislaid Pages. They are doing the Trans Pride Tapestry Sale. That was give me just a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry about that. I had to go and look it up. So this is the Trans Pride Tapestry Sale. It is a design by Carrie Knockin. And Michelle Bendy Stitchy and Mislaid Pages are doing the Trans Pride Tapestry Sale. They're calling it the Trans-tastic Sale. Stitch along. So from now until June 30th, if you go to the website to purchase this pattern, proceeds will go to organizations that support and uplift transgendered humans. So it's uncannycarry.com, UNCANNYKARI.com. I will put the link to the pattern down below. If you're interested in that, you can use the hashtag Trans-tastic Sal and join Mislaid Pages and Michelle Bendy stitching that. Ink Circles has also done a pattern called Relentless. It is a PDF file. It is a PDF file. Sorry, I'm taking pictures as I go along. But this is the pattern that they are offering up. It's called Relentless. So, it's a special mandala. Some of you, if you're not into this sort of thing called tolerance, please just scroll along to something else. No comment is necessary. If you'd like the pattern to stitch this gratuitous profusion of rainbows, hearts, and little gender symbols in various combinations, please see below. So she originally, the designer through Ink Circles originally posted this as a pay what you want option with a manually fulfilled chart, not an instant download, but now she's doing it as an instant PDF download for a minimum donation of $5. You can choose to pay what you want by going to her blog. If you want to pay more than that, more than $5 for the instant download. But several people are doing this rainbow mandala. Again, I will show it to you. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. All different kinds of rainbow colors. And you can probably make out the gender symbols throughout the pattern. They are, Mislaid Pages is also using the Ink Circles pattern and some dinky dyed flosses. Along with the Twisted Rainbows pattern, a lot of people have probably seen many other people stitching the Twisted Rainbows pattern. They are using the Dinky Dyes flosses for the Twisted Rainbows, and Mislaid Pages is going to be substituting the Dinky Dyes flosses for the DMC in the Ink Circles Relentless. So she is working on some of those. So some of the hashtags for the month of June for Pride include hashtag Stitch 4, the number 4, Pride 2021. That's Stitch 4 Pride 2021. Using the number 4, Trans Pride Tapestry, Transtastic Sal, hashtag Don't Get It Twisted Sal for the Twisted Rainbow, and Relentless Sal. So if you're interested in joining any of those, you can probably do a search for any of those hashtags. Again, it's hashtag Stitch 4 Pride 2021, hashtag Trans Pride Tapestry, hashtag Transtastic Sal, hashtag Don't Get It Twisted Sal, and hashtag Relentless Sal, if you're interested in joining any of those for the month of June. I had originally thought that I might be joining the Tapestry Sal, but I don't know if I'm going to do that one. I'm a little more interested in the Ink Circles Relentless mandala, but I don't know yet. I'm not an LGBTQIA member per se. I'm an ally. I have a lot of friends that are in the LGBTQIA spectrum of people, and I support them. I'm also an ordained minister, and if given the ability, I will marry anybody that wants to get married, because love is love, and that's really all there is to it. I will marry you, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Love is love, and that's really what I believe. So if you're interested in any of those, or if you know of any other ones that are coming up for June, for allies and supporters and members in the community, if you know of any other stitch-alongs that are happening for the month of June for Pride, just leave a comment below, and I will be interested in hearing more about that. Another thing that's going on, Colorado Cross Stitcher here on YouTube runs a yarn shop, a fiber shop, where she does a camp every year, a knitting camp for every year for her patrons. And she decided to do the cross stitch camp. So it starts in June. It goes for June, July, and August. And she is making it virtual. You have to, she's in Fort Collins, Colorado, and she's doing a virtual camp. It's in June, July, and August. So the goal for cross stitch camp is you pick a project for each of the months, June, July, and August. One project. The goal is to start the project June 1st and finish the stitching on the project by June 30th. So each month for June, July, and August, you start a project and finish it that same month. That is the goal for Cross Stitch Camp. There are prizes throughout the camp, and you have to go to you have to go sign up for it. You can search hashtag Cross Stitch Camp for it, and send an email to tag@coloradocrossstitcher.com. If you go to Colorado Cross Stitcher here on YouTube and watch her May 14th, 2021 video, she talks about the details for Cross Stitch Camp. So June's challenge is to pick a project inspired by somebody else. Like, you saw somebody else stitching it. It reminds you of somebody, stitch on a project inspired by somebody else. July is try a new to you designer, and August is try new to you fabric or floss. So there's a lot of things that you can do. So for June, on June 1st, you post your pic of your pre-stitch start. So she wants to see a copy of the stock photo, the piece of fabric you're working on with no stitching on it, and some of the floss and whatnot that you're going to be using. But the goal is to start the project June 1st, finish it on June 30th. No matter when you start it, you can't start and stop. Well, I suppose you could, but her rules are you can't really start and stop your project on the same day unless you're doing a bunch of them. But yeah, the goal is to kind of stretch yourself and get a project started and finished in the same month. So that is Cross Stitch Camp, and it's being put on by the Colorado Cross Stitcher. She's out of Fort Collins, Colorado. You've probably heard a couple of different people also mention the 25/7 stitching challenges. That was started by Julie McConnell at the beginning of this year, 2021. She's from Reflections Framing and Stitching in Nebraska. She talked about her 25/7 challenge on her December 16th, 2020 video. She started it because she isn't great at finishing, and she's becoming more of a start everything person. So she figured out what would work for her on getting some of her older WIPs finished, and she came up with either 25 minutes or 25 stitches every single day for 7 days in a row. Thus 25/7. So there's quite a few people out there that are doing that challenge. I didn't sign up, and I'm probably gonna maybe incorporate something like that towards the end of the year, just to make progress on a few other pieces that I kind of want to get some progress on this year. But there's a lot of people doing the 25/7, so you may hear that, and that's what that is. So also for June, there's a lot of things coming up in like Sane Stitchers. They're doing Stitch 'em All Pursuit, which is like Trivial Pursuit, where you travel around the Trivial Pursuit board and do stitches to get your pie pieces and answer trivia questions and whatnot. They're also doing WIP Whammy, which is based on Pressure Luck. WIP Days. WIPGO. We have the drawings on the 27th in 2 days. It's Pride Month, so we have all the Pride stuff going on. There may be many other things that I don't know about. These were just the ones that I've come across recently for the Ink Circles Relentless, the Trans Pride Tapestry Stitch Along, and the Twisted Rainbows Stitch Along that Mislaid Pages is doing. Mislaid Pages is also offering a package deal where you can get the Twisted Rainbows pattern and the packet of Dinky Dyes floss, and $10 for each set that you purchase are donated to the Trevor Project. She's going to have that up in her Etsy shop starting June 1st. So if you're interested, go to Mislaid Pages here on YouTube and kind of watch her more recent video on the sales that are coming up for June. So that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I'm just going to keep plugging away on some of my projects. I'm going to probably be focusing more on WIPGO for the month of June, trying to get caught up, and also hopefully there'll be some interesting June things. coming up for that. I don't know if and when I'll get started on the Happy Cow. And I also don't know if I'm going to pick up probably the Ink Circles Relentless PDF. It's the rainbow mandala that I showed you from Ink Circles. I don't know if I'm going to be getting that pattern and starting for June for Pride. I am an ally, so yeah, love is love, and that's really all that matters. Anyway, so those are just some of my plans coming up. And that's really all I have for you tonight. Some of the I've been watching some new to me YouTubers. One of them was Mislaid Pages. I will put some of the links to some of the FlossTubers below. There's just quite a few. If you search YouTube for FlossTube 1, FlossTube number 1, whatever you search for, excuse me, chances are likely you could find a bunch of people to watch. But anyway, so that's all I got for you. Yesterday was a hard day. One of the reasons why I started my floral Totoro yesterday as well. 2 weeks ago Monday, yesterday, a friend of ours that we've known for probably 20 years or more was at home with his life partner, our friend MJ, Marty. Will wasn't feeling, he was just feeling a little off, and he'd been sitting on the couch for the morning, and they were talking back and forth, and he just decided that he wanted to go to his doctor because he was feeling kind of hot. He was feeling hotter than normal. And MG's like, well, if you've got an infection, we need to get you to the hospital so you can get antibiotics. And so he's like, okay. So they sat there and they talked for a little bit, and he goes, well, I think I'm ready to go, but I've got to go feed the cats. I have to go, take care of the dogs. I have to go to the bathroom, grab a couple of things, and then I'll be ready to go. Give me about 15, 20 minutes. Just like, okay. He stood up off the couch, made a sound, and collapsed back down on the couch. Will was quite a prominent person here in the Columbus area. There used to be a public access TV show called The Vast Wasteland that was around in the 90s, and he was on that with Marty and Wilbert, Bert and Marty and Bert, Wilbur, MJ. How's there? Will, he passed away 2 weeks ago, suddenly. Just stood up, passed out. He wasn't in the best of health, but, anyway. Yesterday was his funeral. He was a prominent person in the Columbus area. He worked at a store here in Columbus called Big Fun. If you've ever been to Columbus, Big Fun has a lot of retro toys and anything kind of goofy. They're like a goofy, offbeat retro toy store here in Columbus. Big Fun. If you're ever in the Columbus area, I encourage you to stop at Big Fun. Will worked there. It was his dream job. He's a nerd. He was known as the Nerd Laureate of Columbus, Ohio. There's a community festival every year in June here in Columbus. ComFest. He was well known through ComFest circles. He was well known throughout the area. He was on TV commercials for Big Fun. He was on TV. He had a YouTube channel, everything like that. He passed away suddenly 2 weeks ago. And it took everybody by surprise. And it was hard. We buried him yesterday. And so part of the reason why I put away my Santa of the Forest was to pick up Floral Totoro, because he was a big nerd. He was into fandom of all types. Batman was his favorite thing. He could talk anything and everything nerdy to anybody that he met. He was just the greatest guy. And the world lost a true gem 2 weeks ago. And we buried him yesterday. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to start the floral Totoro, was because of him. This is his card from the memorial yesterday. And that Batman drawing very well symbolizes Bert. He had beard, real fluffy beard, really curly hair. You know, he was African American. That was Bert. Just amazing yesterday. So I hope you rest in peace, Bert. There's a lot of people down here that still really love you, and we're all gonna miss you terribly. I know Marty does miss you. We'll keep her safe, and just hope that, you know, you'll be there to greet her when her time comes. But thanks for everything you did for everybody here. Anyway, but that's why I got started on my floral Totoro, because he was also like into anime and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of pulled that out to start on that. So as I stitch on that this week for WIPGO, I'm gonna think of our friend Will, because he was just a great guy. You know, he was funny. Let me see if I can get it. I don't know if I have a picture saved on here of him. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, this is the only picture I have of Will on my phone. But this is with Joe Biden. But that's our friend Will, who passed away 2 weeks ago. He's going to be missed by everybody. As you can see, though, I mean, if you look at that. That is Will. Batman was his favorite. So, you know, may he rest in peace. We're going to miss him. We already do. Just an all-around great guy. Oh, Will also really likes ceramics. This was something that Will made for my husband and I. This is a little cat that he gave us. Two of our furry cats, two of our furry children, Harvey and Char. A neighborhood cat had a litter of kittens in Will's and Marty's garage, and Will Marty posted pictures of them as kittens. So we have Harvey. She's a funny cat. She has a half orange, half black cat, or face. We call her Harvey Dent for Two-Face. Harvey Dent, yeah. So that's our Harvey. She came from Marty and Will. And this is her sister, Char. They both came from Marty and Will's place. But Marty and Will were feeding their mom, Ranger, and she had a litter of kittens in their garage about 7 years ago. So when Marty posted the picture of Harvey, that half orange, half black face as a kitten, we decided that we were going to go over there and adopt them. So the day that we went over there we went over and met the cats, the kittens, and they were inseparable. So we decided that we would bring them both home. So we had to wait about another week or two before we could pick them up because they needed to be weaned. And Will gave us this piece of artwork. It's a little ceramic kitty that he had made. And he just had it sitting around. He goes, for some reason, I was told to give this to... I have to give this to you. He goes, thank you for saving our cats. I know you'll give them a good life. So, I was really happy because when we moved last year, you know, we've had this for 7 years. It used to sit in our car. It used to travel around with us in our car. Just, you know, we'd put it in the glove box. Sometimes we'd take it out and put it in the console between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And so it rode around in our car for, like, years. And we pulled it out of the car, and a month or two ago we donated the car. So I was really worried that either it got lost in the move that we made last year or whatnot. Dylan's like, no, I think I know where it's at. So last week went into the garage where he thought he might have saw it, and I pulled it out. So this is a picture of it sitting on our front window. So now it's going to have a place of prominence in our house because this is from Will. This is from our friend Will. So may he rest in peace. Hopefully he's smiling down and having fun and just enjoying life up there. Oh, here's another picture that pretty much encapsulates Will. Let me see. Yeah, this pretty much encapsulates Will. That's who Will was to us. Very funny guy, very outgoing. So, yeah, it's been tough. Anyway, so I've kind of rambled on. Hopefully, I'll have another video for you here in another week or two with some new June plans. Next week is June. I do have a 4-day weekend. I have Friday off and Monday off. I may be doing another video Monday. I don't know. It just really depends. So probably next week or sometime the week after, I'll be doing another update video where I'll be talking about June plans and whether or not I'm working on Ink Circles Relentless for Pride Month or what I'm doing. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry that I was a little bit of a Debbie Downer at the end of my video today, but just kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight into everything going on. Work was shitty this last 2 weeks. We had audit walkthroughs where we had to take auditors on Zoom calls and screen shares through accounts that we've worked on, and I hate doing that because upper management, like 4 and 5 levels up, were also on the calls, and it's nerve-wracking at the very least. So yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, which is also why I haven't filmed until now, and also why my Mania plans just included basically 3 projects for this month, and I haven't done WIPGO and all that just because, I mean, work's been hell. So anyway, that's all I have for you. I might be doing a video next week. I might be doing another video over the weekend. I have no idea. I don't know what my plans are going to be. Everything's changing. Mask mandates are lifting. I am fully vaccinated, but I do plan on still wearing masks when I'm out in public just because I don't trust other people. And I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to make my mom sick. I don't want to make others sick if I don't know I have it. Oh, and the cicadas are coming out, you guys. Thousands of them. They're all over the place right now. You can see their carcasses, or the carapaces, because, you know, they come out of their shells, and they emerge. So it's starting to get noisy outside. There's millions of them. There's going to be billions of them, actually. But, yeah, it's starting to get noisy outside. It's my mom's first experience with the 17-year cicadas, so that's kind of exciting. I may have some more pictures for you. I don't know if I have any on my phone, but let's see. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. So if bug pictures make you squeamish, that is a cicada coming out of its shell. So here is another cicada on a blade of grass. They're about the size of your thumb, you guys. They can be about the size of your thumb. They're pretty large. Here's a side view of another cicada. So yeah, they're pretty big. But they're coming out, and they're getting ready to make a lot of noise. They're already making noise, but they're getting ready to make a lot of noise. So anyway, we have this Brood X cicada, or Brood 10 cicada, however you want to say it. They're coming out. They're 17-year cicada, and they're supposed to be in the billions. So yeah, I might be lamenting in the next couple of weeks about all the dead cicadas everywhere, because the way the way the news channels are talking, you're not going to be able to take a step without stepping on a bunch of them. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, and they crunch when you step on them too. They make a pretty loud crunch. There's some people that are getting excited because, oh, cicadas are a delicacy, you know. I don't know if I want to try that because I've heard they taste like cold asparagus. Yeah, I don't know if that's a taste that I necessarily want to. I don't even know if I can get it past my lips either. Ooh, yuck. Anyway, so we have that. So that's all I got for you tonight. I'm going to actually end this. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. Sorry for being so long-winded, but had a lot to share because it's been a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed your stay. Sorry for getting a little sad there towards the end, but just wanted to let you know what's going on with my life and everything like that. So I hope you've enjoyed your visit. I look forward to our next visit, hopefully in another week or two. And hopefully I'll have some other good news to share with you guys. I'm looking forward to registering for camp. And we will talk to you soon, all right? Till our next chat. Keep on keeping on because that's all any of us can do. And love one another because love matters. Love is love. And science is real. All those other things that people say. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye.